contributions, because a lot of the times Arsenal were putting ball.
They won 15 of their last 20 league games to finish in the European places. LYON have provided opposition twice at previous Emirates Cups in 2015. The Gunners won 6-0 thanks to 6 different goal scorers: Giroud, Oxlade, Chamberlain, Iwobi, Ramsey, Ozil and Santi Cazorla. But 5 years ago, they did collect the trophy after winning here 2-1 when Moussa Dembele netted twice. It is a familiar huddle for the Arsenal players ahead of kick-off. We are getting very close to the start of the English football season at Premier League level. Ainsley Maitland-Niles warmly applauded by the Arsenal faithful here. 72 Premier League appearances for the Gunners. An FA Cup winner, of course, under Mikel Arteta. Bukayo Saka's first start for Arsenal. A real hero of the England team that got through to the final of the European Championship in the summer, of course. He gets a run out from the off in front of the supporters here in the North London sunshine. Declan Rice also back in the starting lineup. Ever present for England, of course, in the summer. North London forever will it be Arsenal's year. So close last campaign, second to Manchester City. They have to improve just a few percentage points to get over the line. Arsenal almost favourites with the bookmakers. Manchester City winning the Community Shield yesterday. Is it a two-horse race? Will we see Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea join in? We will find out over the course of the 10 months that starts next weekend. For now, though, a final summer friendly. It's Arsenal versus LYON. Craig Pawson will get us underway. You're with Dan Roebuck and David here. David, last test, time to tweak those tactics for a final time to home fitness as well. Potentially this is the starting lineup we'll see against Wolves. You never quite know with Mikel Arteta, but the boys will hope to be on it today, and hopefully we'll get as good as game and as good as performance as we got in midweek against Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, on paper, you know, they're not the side that Leverkusen are, so Arsenal should have a comfortable game today. But you said it's for the manager, it's about finalising his team. Last little bit of tinkering, looking at a couple of positions. I think he'll probably be disappointed that he hasn't been able to get Timber out in the last couple of games. But yeah, very much the side I think we'll see at the start of the season against Wolves.
There's a real energy about Arsenal in midweek against Bayer Leverkusen. German double winners, of course, who went so close to treble glory last season. Mikel Arteta said it was a good workout. He knows how important it is to start the season in top gear, really. You just cannot afford to drop points early on. It's something we talked about over the course of the summer friendlies. Every single team will look to be at it. There are no short counts at the start of the season. Wins have to be picked up straight away. Bukayo Saka's been shoved off the pitch. He turns round and says, what was that all about? We were talking in midweek, David, about almost an unwritten rule. It's a pre-season friendly. The two managers might have chatted ahead of time and said, look, make sure that the challenges aren't particularly robust. Well, that was a bit near the knuckle, maybe.
Yeah, I think we was talking about Xabi Alonso and Arteta before the other game, and they had obviously a connection from their youth.
That's Tolisso tries to flick it over the head of David Raya, but unable to do so.
But it looks like normal business has been resumed on Bukayo Saka. I think every game he started last season, that was his introduction to most games, was a fullback, letting them know that they're around.
Yeah, for a time it was maybe believed by opposition that they could halt Bukayo Saka, but he still had a standout campaign, and here he goes again. Denied on that occasion. Saka, who weighed in with some 16 goals last season in the Premier League, 20 in all competitions, and weighed in with 14 assists as well across the various cups and leagues that Arsenal were involved in. He is such a key performer for Arsenal. Yeah, and
I think it's important for Saka as well to have his goal contributions. We saw him against Leverkusen, you know, assisting again. Didn't start the game, but you know, still had an influence, an impact. I think goals are really telling for him. I think when he's scoring, he provides more chances. He's more involved in the game. He's more dynamic in his 1v1s. You know, he really wants to take everyone on. So it's important for Arsenal to get him in that frame of mind.
Martinelli to cross. It's towards Saka with a header down, and it's saved by Lucas Perry, the Brazilian keeper. Comfortable stop, but a good position.
Was in last season, and we weren't really attacking it, but he managed to get on the end of that.
We know how good and consistent Saka has been. Potentially Martinelli might have had a little bit of a drop last season, so something to prove. He scored a run against Manchester United in the States, of course, but his goal tally dropped last turn in the league to 6 from 15. Cross comes in again, this time towards Ødegaard. Arsenal will try and keep the pressure on. Partey does just that. Martinelli can't wriggle through, and his compatriot Lucas Perry will pounce.
I think the key thing for Arteta today will be as well to protect his players now. He won't want anyone getting any sort of knocks, injuries. So whilst they will be trying to get right up to Premier League speed, there's that little bit where they might just be holding out of any heavy challenges or staying out of any physical battles.
Zinchenko scored a wonderful goal against Leverkusen, decides to decant to his left this time around. Martinelli to twist and turn. That's calling for it, easily cleared by Chaleta, from the Southampton player who has played at Emirates before and indeed scored, as we focus on Martinelli, who was not at his best last season, as we mentioned. He weighed in with 4 assists in the league and 6 goals. Previous campaign, 20 goal involvement, so it's halved. He knows he has to up his game with Trossard. Had such a good season last season, breathing down his neck for that place on the left.
Absolutely, and I think that may have put a little bit of pressure on him as well, coming back from injuries early, trying to overperform when you first come back, because you know you've got to hit the ground running when you've got Trossard waiting to jump in your shoes.
Here comes the corner. The trajectory is fairly flat from Declan Rice. He'll get another go. That's clever for Martinelli. Can he pull it back? Well, Havertz had made the move towards the 6-yard box. It's not behind for another flag kick. Nod and an air of determination from Martinelli as he speaks with Thomas Partey. A brief glimpse there of Nemanja Matic, 36 now, once of Chelsea and Manchester United. A really good player for those clubs for a long time before moving on at LYON after a brief spell at Rennes last season. Another corner. Towards the far post this time around. Awkward. Up into the air rather than back inside the 6-yard box from Martinelli.
Yeah, the runs that Arsenal made then were definitely to try and isolate and leave Martinelli on his own at the back. And again, we see him trying to utilise the far post ball. I just wonder this season, Dan, as well. I know we was pretty good from set pieces last year. Gabriel was fantastic from central defence. I think Saliba probably could have contributed 1 or 2 more aerially, but it's going to be fine margins this year, and they're the places you've got to, make your little gains on. If you can find something and add it to the team's repertoire that doesn't put them at risk, but allows them to maybe score more or win just a couple more games, a couple more points throughout the season, that could take Arsenal to the next level.
Saka and Havertz trying to chase this one down. Havertz keeps it in play. It's not the worst for Martinelli to try and run onto. That's good defensive work. And the ball goes out of play for a throw, but Arsenal are at it in the opening, 6 minutes or so here. Ødegaard to cross, once again cleared away. David Raya, successful summer for him, part of the Spanish squad, not first choice, but he did play at the European Championship. Partey for Saka. Now Ben White. Saliba, Gabriel. Zinchenko threads it through. Rice towards the idea. Just had a bit too much juice on it.
You're right, Arsenal are definitely chomping at the bit, though, to get forward. There seems to be not a lot of time spent in build-up going across the pitch at the start of this game. It's to get it into the front as soon as possible. Havertz and Martinelli are making loads of little runs in behind the LYON defenders. And I think it's frightening the defenders. They're sitting off, they're sitting back, and that's why Arsenal were camping outside the box.
Kekule loses out. This is Ødegaard for Martinelli. And still, corner again.
Involved in everything at the moment, Martinelli. As we were saying earlier as well, it's his last chance to play really well and get a starting place at the start of the season, Dan. He knows that Trossard comes on with 30 minutes to go and he ain't bagged the goal. Does that mean he's not going to start next week? You know, he'll have all sorts going through his head. But that's healthy competition. That's what you need with players. You need to keep them on their toes.
16 goals in the Premier League from corners last season. Pulled in. That's good delivery once more, and it does go in. Well, it's glanced home. Saliba will claim it. Did it take a deflection on the way in as well? It doesn't really matter. Arsenal's early pressure pays off. Lucas Perry unable to keep it out. It is Arsenal 1, Lyon 0.
I think you must have heard me, Dan, saying that he didn't make enough contributions from corners or set pieces, and yeah, it's a good ball in. A bit disappointed with the goalkeeper here. I think he got pinned a little bit in the box, couldn't get out. It's in a dangerous area, the ball. I think normally you'd be expecting the keeper to come and take that out. Just puts it on target, doesn't he, Saliba? It's a decent header. Great start for Arsenal.
Well, he watches it really well. Whether it takes a slight deflection before it comes to him, I'm not quite so sure. But just guides it into the net from close range.
It's very static defending, though, from the Lyon players. He hasn't even had to move, really, Saliba. He's just had to be strong and win a header.
Arsenal come again. Martinelli has it this time around. Has to do better to try and slip right in.
Again, a tiny bit too much pace, but Arsenal have just got too much going forward for these Lyon defenders and midfield. The problem is they can't push no one forward when Arsenal are playing like this, so that they got no out balls.
It's been sluggish from Lyon so far, and we did remark with Bayer Leverkusen their season starts a week after. Well, Lyon starts same weekend as Arsenal's. They will be thrust into action at the weekend. Rennes is their first assignment away from home before they face Monaco and Strasbourg. So no real excuses from a fitness point of view. Their summer friendlies have been a bit of a mixed bag. They easily defeated Chassieux-Dessignes by 7-0, an amateur side, but only just managed to get beyond Tyrol, an Austrian team, by 3-2 before losing to St. Pauli. They drew 0-0 with Torino before a much better performance against Union Berlin, Bundesliga side. A 4-0 success away from home, make the noses on the score sheet then, but Mikel Arteta will know that Lyon are a good team, given what they achieved in the second half of last season. Looked to be set for relegation. Laurent Blanc was replaced by Fabio Grosso, who in turn was replaced by Pierre Sage. Here is Bukayo Saka, rather, as Arsenal look to keep that pressure on, but a remarkable turnaround for Lyon, but they're not showing that form here. This is Rice, and now Havertz, who goes down. Referee Craig Pawson does not give a penalty.
No, I mean, there is definite contact on Havertz. It does knock him out of the way a little bit, but he's trying to run through two Lyon defenders, who, to be honest, at the moment are right on the back foot. Even when they get in possession, Dan, they're just hoofing it forward. Arsenal are just getting it back and straight at them again.
Here's the goal scorer. Saliba to take it down to find Zinchenko. 2 goals last term for William Saliba in the Premier League. Played every game for France in the Euros, looked at by Spain in the semis. Saka. Zinchenko. Martinelli with Havertz and Ødegaard inside the box, clipped towards the far post. Saka thinks about the spectacular, but even he can't stretch to that.
He just drifted into the box a little bit too far there, Saka. If he hangs out, he gives himself much more time at that far post. But I do feel sorry for these Lyon fullbacks at the moment. You've got Martinelli on one side just running right, and every time Saka gets it, he started this game with a you know, at a right pace, and this fullback, is it Abner? Yeah, Vinicius Abner. He's doing okay at the moment. 25 minutes, half an hour in. How's he going to be when he's sort of breathing heavy? It's warm out there, and if Arsenal keep this pace up, I can see more goals going in before half-time, definitely.
Lyon have possession. Vinicius Abner, who was signed from Real Betis in the summer for some €8 million, former Botafogo player who is a Brazilian but hasn't played for the Seleção. Intercepted by Martinelli, but then flicked forward by Tolisso. Haven't seen anything of the forward players really. Tolisso had that very early opportunity, but haven't seen anything of, say, Benrahma or Mikatadze. All Arsenal, and it's the Gunners that lead by a goal to nil. Ben White have been underemployed over the course of the opening 14 minutes, which he won't mind. Bigger battles to come as they kick off their Premier League season against Wolves. Mixed pre-season in terms of results, but the vast majority have been good. Defeat to Liverpool, finishing that particular game with a very young team.
Great ball from Zinchenko. If anything, it's just half a yard too short, and Martinelli's had to drag it to get it in front of himself, and he just took it too far. But again, another corner. Easy at the moment for Arsenal to penetrate this Lyon defence.
Saliba is forward. Gabriel as well, just near the penalty spot at the moment. It's another left-wing corner that will be taken right-footed by Declan Rice, who started to take corners midway through last season. Near post this time, ricochets around. Nearly fell to Saliba again. He was just the wrong side, really, but he races back to make life difficult as Lyon looked to try and clear. It was Musa Niakate will get another go.
An excellent delivery from Declan Rice that time. That's more dangerous than the delivery for the Saliba goal. Dropping in an area where the keeper can't get to. I think it was a genius move bringing him on corners last year. He just seemed to settle right into it, didn't he? And his execution of the corner has been fantastic today.
Right to the left-hand side. And now Maximus Kakare has it again. Matic has to take a touch. Jalata will play it for Niakate. Now to Vinicius again, who's, well, it's not Vinicius, is it? Just runs away, goes out of play.
They're not doing themselves any favours, Lyon. When they get the ball, 4 or 5 players are pushing right up onto Arsenal's back 4, so there's no one in actual midfield. So they're turning around these defenders with the ball, and they've got no one to pop it off in the middle of the pitch. So Arsenal midfield are nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable, and they're quite happy for them to punt the ball forward, especially with the back 4 playing as well as they have been. They're quite comfortable taking 4 against 4.
So coming forward once again. Well, Lyon again look to play out from the back. Vinicius is not having a very good opening quarter to this fixture.
It's nice watching the balance with Declan Rice and Partey as well. We don't get to see them play together very often. We certainly didn't last season, and you know, it was a partnership. Everybody was sort of saying, you know, could be a dream double act in there. Partey's sitting nice and deep, but what we're seeing from Declan Rice today is run after run, penetrating through the box, opening space up. I wonder if that's a role that he will play this season, a more forward contributing role, similar to what Granit Xhaka did in his last sort of year at Arsenal, you know, stick him a tiny bit further forward when you've got someone of Partey's quality behind him. Certainly seems to be working today.
Zinchenko, Martinelli. And Zinchenko again, whipped in towards Saka with a header. Getting closer.
Almost spot on. He done everything right, didn't he? He got it at the highest point. It was a really speedily whipped in ball. Puts it back across the keeper's right hand, but just doesn't manage to direct it on goal. Good timing again at the far post. Still quite tight in to play, but manages to readjust. That's 2 decent headers from Saka. He's definitely been practicing, Dan. He's had that ball in the garden on the tree, tied up, and he's been running out there every day, practicing his heading.
Lucas Perry punts it long. Saliba's header towards Havertz, who battles with Niakate. Here is Chalatasar. Niakate again turns away from Ødegaard. Arsenal played Lyon just after the World Cup in Qatar, out in Dubai, the Dubai Super Cup. Arsenal winning 3-0. Gabriel Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira all on the score sheet. Ødegaard. Saka still has possession. This time up against Vinicius and Jonathan Tolisso.
He's asking for some help from the referee's assistant there, Saka. But he does well up against two defenders, still manages to get a corner. The speed at which Arsenal got the ball then, Raya into Partey, Partey to Ødegaard, Ødegaard out to Saka straight away. It was 80 yards of the pitch in 3 seconds.
Corner clipped in again. Rice. Zinchenko. Saliba. Zinchenko switches the play. It's a little high, but Saka does well to nod it down. Ødegaard takes over. Still plenty in red and white in good positions here. Ødegaard to curl towards the far post. Nodded back here. Partey was lurking. Niakate will take it away.
Yeah, he looked like he was lurking for a big finish, didn't he, Partey?
Still Niakate does well on the ball. Referee lets it go. Claiming the free kick, doesn't get it. 23 million euro from Metz in the summer. Metz, who are relegated. The Georgian, who scored 3 in the European Championship, was a real star for Georgia as they surprisingly made it into the knockout stages. He's a young striker going places. Didn't quite work out at Ajax for him.
So a bit of a worry at the moment. Martinelli's down on the left-hand side on the halfway line. These are the things as a player, you know, what's going through your mind as a player there. Got a little knock. Should I just go off and get it sorted? What if Trossard comes on and, you know, he's on fire? I need to stay on the pitch. I need to prove myself to the manager.
What would you do?
I'd stay on the pitch. Try and keep Trossard off it, without a doubt. You've got to. I think, you know, it's part of your DNA, isn't it, to try and battle through everything and leave your best out on the pitch, so the manager has a difficult decision to make. Don't make it easy for him. He started this game at a fair pace, Martinelli, so he does maybe just need to rein himself in a tiny bit. Walking very gingerly.
Had the odd injury issue over the last couple of years, but he's been such a terrific signing. Still just 23. Made a couple of substitute appearances for Brazil in the Copa America in the summer. They were beaten by Uruguay in the quarter-finals in a shootout. Martinelli did step up and took responsibility in the penalty shootout. He did score, but unfortunately Brazil, they were beaten on spot kicks. Zinchenko. So Ukraine were a little unlucky to bow at the group stages in the Euros. Saliba. Played out of position, of course, in Germany. Played left-sided centre-back rather than right. Martinelli's off. Oh, now but a mistake from Lucas Perry. Here is Declan Rice. Martinelli again. Partey for Saka controls, but just allows Vinicius to do enough to nick it away from him. Here is Tolisso. Now it's with Kakare. Won't get there, in fact. This is Kakare, and then Declan Rice's shot is straight into the arms of Lucas Perry.
Yeah, I think it's an optimistic strike from Declan Rice, but it just shows you that the lack of midfield presence for Lyon. Just they can't get out. They just give the ball away so easily. They've got no ball retention up front, so the midfield and defence can't push out.
Arsenal have it again. Declan Rice, Martinelli, and still Rice helps win it back. That is brilliant football. Zinchenko under pressure. That makes life difficult for him. Ødegaard. Leon defended just that little bit better after an opening spell where they looked all over the place, looked like they're going to concede every single time Arsenal were coming forward. Leverkusen were a little lightweight, expected more from them, but Lyon maybe have just got a bit of organisation together.
Yeah, well, for the last 5 minutes, they've only been leaving one up front and just, you know, basically sucking it up, saying if Arsenal are going to have possession, at least we're going to have enough men behind the ball. The trouble is, at some point, if they want to get anything out of this game, as you said, the season starts in a week's time, so they need to get something out of the game. In order to do that, they need to play as if how they're going to play in their league, but they just can't do that today against Arsenal because they get punished.
Kakure from Toliso's ball. Partey wins it back for a split second. Jonathan Tolisso takes it on again. It's on the right-hand side. Mkhitaryan waits inside the penalty area. 4 inside the box. Cleared away as Mkhitaryan was lurking. Good defensive header from William Saliba. Matic. Ødegaard. Arsenal have it again inside the full-back here. Martinelli takes it in his stride. Really good block. Into Matic, gets back to deny Martinelli, who took the shot on, and if it was with the foot that he was troubled with a few moments ago, that might not be great. Great ball.
Yeah, great ball. Sliced open again. Perfect timed run, but as you said, really good recovery from the defender. I just wonder whether he is playing a little bit held back now because of that problem he had with his foot.
Just feeling it a little bit, maybe.
Still feeling it. Not sure even whether it might be his thigh. Saw him stretching his thigh off a minute ago, and if it is muscular, he really needs to be careful.
Again, it's whipped in. Brilliant header. Gabriel, right place, right time, with a wonderful leap. Close in, can't miss. Arsenal have a second. Another brilliant delivery. It is Arsenal 2, Lyon 0.
It really is a fantastic delivery, but what a header to get on the end of it, because that's whipped in at some pace. I've got to question Lucas Perry in goal. For the other goal as well, I thought he should have come again. He's really easily pinned in his box. Flaps at that one. Gabriel makes it even Stevens for Arsenal central defenders.
Does indeed. What a piece between the pair. I don't know whether they have a little private battle between themselves with it. Gabriel, you read him before last season in the Premier League. Saliba too. You always sense that Gabriel gets a few more, doesn't he, in his career? He's got 14 goals in the Premier League for Arsenal. He's a brilliant defender, as we know, but when you can just add 1 or 2, 3 a season as a centre-half, it's key, isn't it?
And I think you tend to find that centre-half goals or defenders' goals are normally higher-level contribution goals. You know, they normally win a game or get you some points. It's not, obviously, if Saka scores, it might be in a 4-1 win. But normally they score really important goals. And if you can just get a couple of important ones from Saliba, along with Gabriel's contribution, because he was brilliant last season, just think it gives you that extra edge in a couple of games. And they've definitely been working on the corners to this far post. The movement's all geared up to overloading at the rear, especially as teams like Lyon today are zonal marking.
Saliba just taking some instruction on from Mikel Arteta, as is the rest of the squad, and some water as well. It's a hot day in North London. Summer's arrived very late in England, but we're thankful for the warm weather. Well, PSG, the Lyon coach. He will not want his team to get hammered on the brink of their season. They had an awful start to the campaign last year. Not that these fans will care, but he did so well. He's a coach who's come from nowhere, really. He returned to Lyon last summer to run the academy, but was parachuted in as a caretaker boss and then got it permanently, grabbed a European place. And ahead of their season getting underway, this is not what they wanted. It's exactly what we want, of course, from an Arsenal point of view. And Messrs Gabriel and Saliba on the score sheet here, back in the old routine very early on. And hopefully that pair will contribute as they have done over the last few years. Declan Rice, brilliant corners from the left-hand side. Wasn't the original corner taker last season from that side, but every single corner is pretty much an in-swinger, very much in vogue. Arsenal have led that. If you look at some of the stats, something like 98% of the corners over the last 2 years have been in-swingers. And not just the fact they're in-swingers, the delivery is usually very good. Little you can do about it. Lyon trying to get themselves back into this one. This is Matic to lay it off. And then the flick from Benrahma. Scored a couple of goals against Arsenal, of course, in his West Ham days, but both from the spot. Rice with a header. Havertz looking to flick it on. Havertz again. Martinelli usually has got the pace. He has got the pace to get there, and still driving forward. He's still Martinelli, eventually just eased out of the ball. The referee says no free kick or penalty as they raced inside the penalty area. I think a fully fit and firing Martinelli races away.
Absolutely. I think he's holding back. He knows that if he fully releases, something could go. He does everything right, cuts across the defender, but in the end, he gets snuffed out. But what a vision from Havertz there. On the swivel, ball in the air. It's a cleared header from Declan Rice. Just falls to him, bang, one pass. But you've got to question the Lyon defending as well. Why, when a player's in their own half, do you push right into him? You've got to defend the halfway line. You've got to sit on that halfway line and protect the space behind.
They will have it once again. Seen too much of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Matic, Ainsley calling for it. Matic will lay it off. Mata will curl in. It doesn't beat Declan Rice. Gilletta Sarr for Clinton Mata once more. Digs out the cross deeper this time around. It'll spin back here towards Benrahma. Has got a bit of trickery, as we know. Just to the edge of the area this time around. Ikate hits the referee.
He just said to the referee, I was a bit disappointed in your touch there.
It's shocking. It's a pre-season touch, really.
Yeah, in fairness, yeah.
You know, come on, Craig.
He's got a week to tidy that up.
Tolisso, Mukatata, then White, and David. Then Rama again. Clever ball for Mukatata to chase, but David spotted it as well. Zinchenko. Erdegaard does brilliantly, looking for Havertz. The flag is up. And it's the right decision, I think.
Yeah, just got caught, didn't it? The ball on Erdegaard's first touch. He does a brilliant recovery and turn and twist to pick it out around the player and lay the pass in. But I think Havertz had already got on his toes a little bit there. He's waiting. Maybe could have stepped back onside half a yard, but it's suicidal defending at times from Lyon.
Managed 10 clean sheets in Liga last season, 5 home, 5 away. As we mentioned, shocking start to the bottom as late as September. They looked like they were heading to the second tier. Not quite the Lyon of old, of course, when they won title after title, 7 on the spin. They dominated French football before Paris Saint-Germain were bought out. And have dipped a little bit in recent years. Still managed to get to the Champions League semi-final back in the 1920 campaign. The semi-final of the Europa League a few years prior to that. They're back in the Europa League. They'll go straight in the group stages, incidentally. Ødegaard for Saka. Saka again, away from his Brazilian marker, not once but twice, and then a third time he was pulled back, and eventually Arsenal do get a free kick.
Yeah, it's a delightful little piece of skill in there as well. You almost think he's lost the ball. He puts his leg around Abner and just uses the bottom of his foot to drag it away from the Lyon defender. Fantastic skill.
Arsenal have a free kick. We've got 11 minutes of the first half remaining, and the crowd happy with what they've seen so far. Another front-footed, ambitious display and a friendly. Good energy and industry. 2 well-worked goals. Hopefully more to come. Saka to curl towards the far post, nodded back inside the 6-yard area. It was Havertz who was jumping, but just unable to keep it down.
Again, the far post ball. At what point are Lyon going to say, let's put a player in there and actually try and mark these crosses? It's a lovely header back, and Havertz just can't get up and keep the ball down. Can't get over the height of the ball.
Saliba. Saka for Ødegaard. Referee allows play to continue. Here is Nemanja Matic. 17 times he's played against Arsenal competitively, only on the winning side on 8 of those. Picked up 4 cautions in his time as well in a FA Cup losing side in his Chelsea days against Arsenal. Kakare. Substitutes warming up and getting the applause from the Arsenal faithful. And to our left, if you wondered what the thing was about, we've got a Calafiori that most supporters will be desperate to see, if not all. We'll see when he comes on. He will play some part, surely at least a half. I would have thought. Got to be half-time changes. He's got to be earmarked for that.
Very strange formation. It's almost like they've only got 2 rows of players, a set of defenders and a set of forwards. When there's no one really offering themselves in the midfield. First time we see someone pop out there, and Gray comes out, but it's just non-existent. It's always got to be like an absolutely inch-perfect ball to someone running through. There's no build-up play through the centre of the pitch for Lyon.
Wins it. It was a little sloppy from Gabriel, and Lyon coming forwards here, driven in low. Good looking header. Partey, and eventually Rice will flick it forward. It was a little dangerous. Ødegaard, Havertz wants it. Niakate across. Partey for Ødegaard, turns into trouble. Matic is there. Maxence Kakare for Corentin Tolisso. Benrahma. Well, the run was made by Vinicius Abner. Saka's on the move. Vinicius is out of position at the moment. Saka doesn't quite beat the imposing figure of Moussa Niakate. Comes back to deal with it. Signed from Nottingham Forest, €31 million the fee. really seemed as a standout with Forest, I must admit.
No, I think he got a little bit lucky there as well with Saka. He just didn't have enough trickery to get past him, but if he had, I think that would have been Arsenal's next goal. But so quickly, Thomas Partey picked that ball up, realised that Abner was out of position and thought, got to get it out to Saka straight away. And I think that's what Partey brings to this side. He certainly looks to get that early ball out to Saka on a much higher rate than other players that play in there. They've got a really good rapport, and he's getting a lot of feed from Thomas Partey.
The touch we associate with Mkhitaryan. This is Benrahma, though. He's going to be something special to beat David Raya at his near post. So Benrahma, 3 goals last season, having moved on loan from West Ham. A couple of goals in his West Ham days against the Gunners. We're only on the winning side once in 8 attempts. A bit surprised that West Ham let him go, but quite an overhaul in East London over the last year, certainly this summer. Interesting to see how Lopetegui and co get on. Just over 5 minutes of this first half remain. Kakare, his influence is maybe growing a little bit in midfield. So Mkhitaryan's gone down. Now fouling the Georgian. Pace of play slowed a little. The start still peaks down. Meant to get a little bit warmer later on today and tomorrow. Chaletasa. Kakure.
Pace has just gone out of the game a little bit, hasn't it? But I do think you're right, Dan. It's 40 minutes in now, coming up to half-time. It's very warm.
Tanteliso for Nemanja Matic, clever for Benrahma. Inside the fullback to the right-hand side. Just takes him away, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. What about the delivery? It's a good one! And Mkhitaryan really should have done better. It looked like it was put on a plate for the Georgian by the former gunner. Cross was good. The connection from the striker, not so much.
Yeah, it's a big chance, this. LYON, it's a great ball. It's good recovery, really, for Maitland-Niles. His first touch weren't great. He got himself in a position and put a ball in for a 2v1 challenge that was pinpoint perfect. Arsenal just need to keep their concentration levels high for the next 5 minutes. Don't want to be giving LYON a leg up just before half-time.
Chaletasa. Martinelli takes it down. Ødegaard takes over. Saka in space. Havertz through the centre. Saka. Ødegaard back towards Bukayo Saka. Matic had watched the move and blocks it out. Partey. Zinchenko for Rice. Neat and tidy, but not really progressive. LYON forcing Arsenal back towards the halfway line. Wolves at home next Saturday. Villa away, Brighton at home, Spurs away, Man City away. It's a challenging start to the season for Arsenal, that is for sure. By the two Emirates friends, Leverkusen and Lyon, suggest that the Gunners are going to be hitting the ground running. Here is Thomas Partey.
I don't think it's actually a bad thing that Arsenal are playing a side today that are sort of backed up and parking the bus or playing a low block, whatever you want to call it. It's something they're going to come up a lot against this season. So all this, you know, quick movement of the ball around the edge of the box, quick 1-2s, movement is going to be key. So there you go again. Beautiful.
Ben White gets in round the back. What can he produce? Corner and no more. Maybe just calling too mine. Just sort of look up, glance down, split second, and the opportunity to find a teammate was gone.
But if I was Arteta, I wouldn't be worrying about the end product on those sort of moves. This is all about the build-up. It's all about breaking a team down, exploiting a little bit of space when it opens up, and they're doing that. The next stage will come, you know, the final pass, the good finishing, but the movement in and around the box is lovely. The way the back four are really well balanced and they've got that nice shape and curve all the time is keeping it safe at the back. He'll be delighted with the performance in the two games I've seen this week in the Emirates Cup.
Saka fairly low this time, spins away. Mkhitaryan against Declan Rice, who shows his strength. Underneath the studs of Saliba, Zinchenko gets his head up, 45 nearly up. Party. Saka. Saka again. LYON will clear. A bit awkward. Arsenal keep the pressure on for the final few seconds of the half. We've got 2 minutes of added on time. Flick towards Saka again, because Perry comes and jumps. When he played the cup competitions last season, because Perry, the Brazilian keeper, was second choice to Anthony Lopez. Did get a run through to the finals, though, beaten by Paris Saint-Germain in the showpiece. Is this the 11 that Arsenal will go with against Wolves in just under a week's time? Will we see 1 or 2 tweaks? Might depend on fitness, but all the form we've seen over the summer is in the book. I'm sure Mikel Arteta will pretty much know. Will we see lots of changes? Will that give us an indication of players that come out for the second half?
I think possibly you're right there, Dad. And I think probably 2 or 3 positions could be still under question. Left back, the Thomas Partey, Declan Rice situation. You can do that by opposition as well. You might have to play Jorginho when you're playing against the Man City. And the Martinelli Trossard battle.
Yeah, here is Martinelli looking to stamp his authority not just on the game but on that position, as you mentioned. Not focus on him today, and it's natural. Trossard again was scoring in midweek. Jonathan Tolisso. Maxence Caqueret, that is the half. Well, really good work out. And the centre-backs back in the old routine. Saka has really starred on the right-hand side. Will we see him for a further 45 minutes? Gabriel, of course, scored the second goal. William Saliba managed to grab the first of the Arsenal squad. Messi, Saliba and Gabriel, the goal scorers for the Gunners, who lead LYON 2-0 in the 2024 Emirates Cup. And just looking at the Arsenal squad, no alterations, it would appear, ahead of this second half. It means that Gabriel Martinelli, amongst others, are keeping their place. And we'll see changes from Mikel Arteta, just not yet, it would appear. Arsenal players in a huddle. No sign of Riccardo Calafiori, a new signing from Bologna just yet, but he is on the bench, and I'm sure that Mikel Arteta will be using the Italian, who sits behind the boss at the moment. Miles Lewis Skelly aiming to get on. Meanwhile, Piers Hage just Also sticking with the same 11 that he used in the first 45 minutes as well, by the looks of things, so no alterations for Lyon.
Yeah, just interesting there that Calafiori's one of the only subs with his match shirt on, not his warm-up shirt, Dan. Just trying to point that out. I think, was it Lewis Skelly who's sitting next to him? I think he also has got a match shirt on, so whether that's going to be an earlier change, because the players are not going to want to sit in their match shirt and get it sweaty. That's why they have their nice like pre-game shirt on, warm-up shirt.
Underway for the second half. No changes then to the lineups. The subs naturally will be coming thick and fast over the course of the second half, that we hope we'll see Arsenal score a few more. The Gunners lead by 2 goals to 0 with Saliba and Gabriel on the score sheet. Mikel Arteta knows that it is a case of just trying to tweak. It is not a complete overhaul. It'll be a situation where can Arsenal pick up just a few more points? So close to Manchester City last season, just 2 points behind the champions. Only the 5 defeats, best defensive record, of course, just 29 goals conceded in the Premier League. Top in December, briefly in March, and then April and May before City's win against Spurs late on. But Arsenal by no means bottled it. They won their last 6. Defeat to Bayern Munich in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. Only exits in domestic competitions, but still a season to be proud of. Did, of course, yield the Community Shield right at the start of it, let's not forget. That was won yesterday by Manchester City, but it's a loose trend, but Community Shield winners don't tend to win the league. That's sort of been the order of the day over the last decade or so.
I think that certainly is the case with City. I think the 3 times that they've lost it, they haven't won the league. You hear that? So yeah, maybe it's a sign, Dan, but I think Arsenal progress has sort of, they've gone as far as they can in the last 2 seasons because of Manchester City. So, you know, they've done all that they can. I think this could be the season that they can make that extra little step, which is unusual because normally when you've put up really two really good seasons, 2 really good challenges, sometimes there's a little bit of a dip after it. But I really do believe that Arsenal at the moment, with the belief, the way the manager's trying to develop the squad, and we know he's trying to bring more players in with additions to the squad. I think it could be that next level in the up-and-coming season, or even the following season. He won't mind as long as the performances are right up there.
I completely agree. I think there's still the desire, there's the energy, there's the hunger, and that's down to this man, Mikel Arteta. His managerial style has been brilliant. Here is Kakare, who leaves it for Tolisso. Touch from Maitland-Niles, cleared away by Partey. Chalata Tsar. Now for Maxence. Kakare again to clip to this near side. Clinton Mata will win a corner. Zinchenko taking one in the midriff. Winded a little, maybe. Red corner for Lyon. Trying to start this second half on the front foot. 3 and a bit minutes into the second half. Mata is the option short. Then Rama eyes only on the penalty area. Let's see. Dipped a little, easily cleared. Kakare. Tolisso. Chalata Sarr for Yakate. And now Vinicius Abna. Matic. Vinicius again. Mikatadze to turn. Well, difficult chance, all of his own making. Nice swivel. If the shot was better, it may well have tested David Raya, but thankfully didn't. Took it down well, first turn, snapshot And the spin always difficult. David Ray for Thomas Partey. Lyon looked to press. White. Havertz shoved over. Referee plays on. Lyon with Kakare, but Partey intercepts. And Rice is on the move. And Martinelli looks to get into top gear. Gabriel Martinelli. Options to his right. Still Martinelli. Who's he pick out? Odegaard strike. Fine save. Lucas Perry.
That's a really good strike. He's guided that just inside the right-hand post of Perry, but he's equal to it. It's a good save by the Lyon keeper, but again, swift break. Declan Rice breaking up play. Martinelli in down on this left-hand side. It's a nice set as well for Odegaard on the edge of the box.
Nice to take. Odegaard comes short. Zinchenko also an option. Gunners personal inside the penalty area. Loaded up on the far post. Short corner. Still waiting for the delivery. Zinchenko back for Rice. Whatever the sequence was to get the cross in, it never came. Odegaard. Flick for Rice. Whips it in. Kakare loses out. This is Zinchenko. Have gone out for a corner. Gabriel was jumping highest of all. It ricocheted off the Lyon player.
Yeah, it was interesting that Arsenal tried a little training ground short corner routine. I said the other day to you, didn't I, when we was doing the Leverkusen game, that possibly they're not kind of things you want to do in your last couple.
You don't want to give them away.
You don't want to give them away to the opposition before the start of the season. But that one certainly, I think it was going to be a little cutback by Declan Rice to try and get Odegaard in on that. Got snuffed out. There's obviously some interesting ideas from the free kick and corner department for the up-and-coming season.
Again, it's low. Might get another chance. Seen a few fairly flat ones from Saka. Arsenal load at far post as far as Saka can see. Gabriel near the penalty spot. Plenty of movement towards the near, though. And it comes. Partey jumps, doesn't get there. It will fall for Rice. Good block. Partey with a curler. Can only put it wide.
There's half a chance there for Partey. He's got plenty of time. Declan Rice with the first shot. Pounces on the second ball. And I think he just... I don't know. Is he tried to be too perfect with the shot? Or was there not enough space there? There's a lot of goal to aim at, isn't there, down to Perry's left-hand side.
Does he hurry it a little bit, Partey?
I think he does, yeah.
Great to see Thomas Partey fit and firing. Odegaard sees his pass picked off, and Lyon suddenly have the opportunity to break. Ben Ramri's calling for it. Mikatante a little bit off the pace. Maitland-Niles right-hand side. Matic. Tolisso. First time from Kakare. Odegaard. Martinelli should be able to get there ahead of Calatasaari. He's got Havertz to his left-hand side if he can spot him. Here is Kai Havertz. Wonderful build-up play. The passing precise, the shot not.
The first part of the build-up play, Odegaard, what a pass this is, as the forwards cross over on the left-hand side, he reverse passes it into the middle. Beautiful ball. I just think Havertz is caught in two minds, whether he chops it to the far post, but he can't really see where Saka is, so it was a bit hopeful. He's not really been in the game as much today, Havertz.
His all-round performance against Leverkusen, former club, was excellent. Half in midfield, half up front. This is Odegaard. He's made a little bit of space for himself. Still hasn't, Martin Odegaard, the skipper's fast feet creating the opportunity, then he's blocked off. This is Partey. Zinchenko to curl. Must be one here. Saka's hit the post. Well, he watched it all the way, tried to guide it near post as the keeper saw it, denied by the woodwork.
He's had 3 headers at the far post. That was by far the easiest one. I think possibly just trying to do him a favour. Could he have been in 2 minds whether to head it or volley it? Really, that's got to go back across the keeper.
Chance gone. Frame of the goal denying Arsenal a third. Zinchenko to take the throw. Gabriel. Well, 10 minutes into this second half. Natural order of things usually is at the hour we see the changes. Bukayo Saka for Arsenal. Still Saka. Kante away. Ben White. Odegaard for Partey. And now Zinchenko. Martinelli. Does manage to get through for Rice. Martinelli wanted it back. Zinchenko has it. This is Gabriel. Now still looking to press as they probe away. One flank, then the other. Chalatasar with the defensive header.
Really good discipline there from Saliba. He stepped in, he ended up driving 10 yards forward with the ball, got sort of around the edge of the box and thought, I'm a defender, I need to just pop this ball off, get back in position. And he's getting into Premier League match routine, you know. After anything breaks down, default position, get your shape right, keep it solid. Rice
couldn't get the ball off him. Zinchenko does get the cross in, punched away by Lucas Perry. Maitland-Niles with a header, brought down by Rice, tight area. Good confidence in your ability to do that. Now it's with Partey again, Zinchenko again. Lyon had a little flurry of form at one end, but Arsenal dominating now. Here is Rice once more. Martinelli, sliding challenge from former Southampton man has left Martinelli crumpled in a heap on the deck.
Yeah, it's not really the sort of challenge you want to see in the last game before pre-season. I mean, he's there in plenty of time, Martinelli, and it's not the worst challenge in the world. It looks like he's fallen on his shoulder as well. He's put a shift in. Gabby Martinelli, he's really trying to leave an impression on the manager. Probably, like we said, just a couple of spots up for grabs next weekend.
Well, Zinchenko might be the first to come off if Calafiori does come on, presuming that he's going to play left back, but the same play at Bologna last season, he was much more of a centre half. Mikatadze. Took the throw. Maitland-Niles aimed it towards Tolisso. Didn't quite realise that he had Benrahma to his left. Come towards the former West Ham winger. Vinicius, Tolisso, Matic, Benrahma, Vinicius again. 3 inside the penalty area. The block from Ben White. Clearance from Partey ricochets back towards Mikatadze, who turns inside the area, still has it. Tolisso. Shot from way outside the area. was adept at doing that, but it didn't dip enough, didn't curl enough. Just a slight concern momentarily for David Raya.
Yeah, it was a decent enough strike, and his only real option, he was shown inside. It's got to be a fantastic strike to trouble Raya from there. He had a pretty quiet game as far as chances, David Raya.
Play through the press. Zinchenko has it from Gabriel's ball. Partey offers himself. Zinchenko wins a throw. We approach the hour. Is that the signal for the changes? Not yet. Rice to flick on. Niles' header. Matic. Niles again. Mikatadze tries to play through the legs of Gabriel. He was wise to the move, just got the knee down, didn't he?
Yeah, clever. He just blocked it, got down, dropped his knee down to the side. Subs are coming back in. I wonder whether anyone's going to get a call. Doesn't look like it at the moment.
Teta tries to control, tries to take it down, take the pace off the ball with a toe, but unable to do so. Saka, Ødegaard swerves outside him. Saka still has it. White and Ødegaard, that triumvirate that combined so well last season and the year before. Ødegaard spots Martinelli in space. Mata is across to close down. Tap back for Zinchenko. Three waiting inside the box. Gabriel side footer here for Partey. And now it's Ødegaard. And still flicks it through. Saka might get another go, doesn't.
Tell you what, Abner does really well. He just gets a toe on that little ball through from Ødegaard. Not had lots and lots of room around the box today, Ødegaard, but when he gets space, he's so dangerous. Look at this little lift and flick between two defenders. Saka unlucky not to get on the end of it.
Changes afoot. Arsenal subs waiting to come on. Lyon alterations, replacements. So switches for both sides, but there'll be a huge cheer when Calafiori steps onto the pitch as an Arsenal player for the first time. Saka, a little bit of business for those still on the pitch to complete potentially. Let's see what Bukayo Saka can do here. Can he get there first? Oh, call by Galatasaray. It's a free kick.
Yeah, it's another challenge he doesn't need to make. He's pushing Saka into the corner. Just go over and stand up. But the thing is, you don't want to stand up against Saka because you don't want to be made a fool out of. It's a pre-season game, right under the referee's assistant's nose. Unnecessary challenge, I think, really.
Saka smiles with Craig Paulson here. Will be a free kick. Changes not ready to be made just yet.
Well, it looks like they are going to make those changes.
One of the biggest cheers of the afternoon for the Arsenal new boy. Riccardo Calafiori signed from Bologna after a really good season in Serie A. They qualified for the Champions League, of course, last season. Played 3 times recently in the European Championship. 5 Italy caps, having come through at Roma, then Basel.
That's an interesting change.
Zinchenko, the player to come off, and then Jesus for Rice. It'll mean that Havertz drops back into midfield, but it also means that Calafiori will be playing left back by the looks of things. Changes afoot for Lyon as well. George Mikatadze, haven't really seen the best of him, but he's created 1 or 2 opportunities for himself. About to be replaced here. First player to come on is Gift Orban, who comes with a very good goal-scoring record in Norwegian, Belgian football before moving to Lyon. Kakare is also coming off. Looks like we're going to see the end of Vinicius Abner as well. Kakare likewise. So changes ×4 for Lyon. Imran Balde, Diawara and Ernest Nwama is the other player to come on. And Rama Mikatadze, Kakare and Abner Vinicius, the players that have gone off. So subs completed for now. The game can restart. Arsenal have a free kick. And Calafiori has joined the defensive pack in an advanced and attacking area for Arsenal here at the back post. Called in, flicked on by Saliba. That's always going wide of the target.
Decent delivery from Saka. I'm just going to try and work out where Havertz is going to probably drop in to the role that Declan Rice was doing, sort of just forward of Thomas Partey. Partey's still sitting. Jesus has gone into that centre-forward spot, playing down the middle at the moment. Interesting to see how this works. As Havertz has not really been in the game too much while he's been straight down the middle.
I thought he played well midfield against Liverpool first half. I think he played better as a striker second half, but you know he contributed. But as you say, he's been a little bit quiet as a striker today from the off.
It's just another string, isn't it, to Arteta's bow when if he needs to make changes, he needs to look at how he keeps his best players on the pitch and maybe just moves them around a little bit. And Havertz suits that role.
Saka for Ødegaard. Gift Orban's going to play through the centre, that's for certain. For Lyon, scored a lot of goals for Stabæk in Norway and then for Ghent in Belgium. Burst onto the scene, scored a very quick hat-trick in European football before moving in January last year, but found the step up to league a little tough, just one goal. Rama, who's also come from Belgian football after a spell at Moshent. 3 goals last term for the Ghanaian. Saka. There's Maitland-Niles here. Just steps in and nicks the ball away.
Yeah, Maitland-Niles has seen Saka's tricks many, many times, hasn't he? And he knows that you don't dive in on him in and around the box. The old Haaland connection. Be interesting if Calafiori could get on the score sheet as well from a corner. What an introduction that would be to his career at the Emirates.
Scored a couple of goals in Serie A last season. The team's been broken up already. Zirkzee's left and Lewis Ferguson injured. Coach gone as well, of course, Thiago Motta to Juve. Another corner. Good delivery once more, punched away by Lucas Perry. As Lyon looked to try and move forward. Was there a stray elbow there? Martinelli's gone down.
Yeah, I think was it Balde? I think he's just jumped across the front of him where he's tried to block the ball when it comes down. He just puts his arm, you see it here, look. He steps across him there.
Yeah.
Just tries to get his body between, his arm goes out.
He's been in the walls a little bit, hasn't he, Martinelli? He's got one from Balde there.
I think they've been a little bit better shape-wise this second half. Arsenal have not been as much of a threat. Admittedly, maybe took their foot off the gas a tiny bit, but they got a bit more shape about their midfield.
Havertz, Fury to step forward and to prod it for Martinelli, and then to jump in and win it back momentarily. I mean, as you would imagine, he'll be so eager to impress.
Yeah.
Here is Balde coming forward, though. Oh, it's a poor ball. Left Orban, look, he's saying, play it to my feet. I was in half a yard of space.
I was just thinking with that Calafiori challenge that this is an opportunity for him to like melt the opposition right in front of the fans, win them over. An emotionally led tackle was coming, and it looked like he was going to be late, but in fairness, he held back on it.
Here he is, brought down. He's obviously not been on the squad that long, and joined midway through the United States tour. Didn't play in the last game. He was there for the Liverpool fixture. Didn't play midweek against Leverkusen. So the last time we saw him was in the European Championship, and he didn't play in the game against Switzerland, the round of 16. He was suspended for that one. Might have been different for Italy if he'd have played. So he's going to be ring rusty. He looks a little leggy, doesn't he? But the fitness will come.
And it's like anything with any new signing as well. There's lots of adjustments. He's moved to a new city. He's got to settle into that. Even the food is going to be, you know, everything's going to be slightly different. He's got a lot going on at the moment.
You're suggesting that English food is different than Italian food?
No, what I'm suggesting is just on a day-to-day basis, everything's a little bit new for him, isn't it? And he's...
I'd make him right.
He's well, no, I would too. He probably is, yeah.
Throw in here to LYON. Ødegaard. Back towards Partey. Gabriel. Well, we did wonder, didn't we, about position, whether he's a backup or centre half. Does he come in for Gabriel or Saliba? Does he bide his time? Is he going to be left back? Well, he's making his debut as left back here.
Me, first impressions are just looking at the way he moves, and he is quite a big lad. I think he's kind of more suited to a central defensive role. He doesn't look like he's like a really mobile, quick-footed sort of player. But it's all about positional sense. It's almost like having three centre-backs if you've got him in there and tucking in.
Well, you could argue four with Ben White on the right-hand side. Look, if you look at the way Manchester City have gone about, the way that they've tweaked their tactics with the likes of Nathan Ake, who is a centre-half playing at full-back, and we've seen Akanji play at full-back. We've seen John Stones push up as well. There's a lot of similarities between Stones and Calafiori as we see Jesus down at the moment. So yeah, I think it's the modern full-back seems to be a sort of converted centre-half at the moment. This is what happened to Jesus. He was a little bit late. Just overextend a little there.
I hope it's just the connection between the two players rather than him holding the back of his ankle, rather than actually have injured himself. Yeah, I think also, Dan, I think what it is as well, you've got to look at what's in front of you, you know, what sort of wingers you've got on your fullbacks. That's a great ball from Rice, isn't it, in there for that first goal.
That's Miles Williams deliberately peels away. Take two, this time Rice. Great jump as well, wasn't it? He watches it well, Gabriel.
Yeah, and he's aware. Just prior to that, he'd been having a little battle on the edge of the box, little pushing session, and as he releases his marker, he knows exactly what position to get in, gives himself enough time, and it's all about the delivery. But like I was saying, with Arsenal's the beauty of being a winger at Arsenal is you can have just an out-and-out defender behind you. You don't have to have anyone who overlaps, because they're so strong with Saka and Martinelli, or Saka and Trossard on the wings. You can just be an out-and-out defender. So you can play a central defender at full-back as long as you do your defensive job properly and you use the ball wisely. Don't do what you can't do. It's an ideal role. I think that's why Arsenal had such a great defensive season last year.
Jesus okay to continue. 17 minutes remaining here. There will be a penalty shootout incidentally at the end of this game, regardless of the results. Something that a lot of the clubs have done this summer with tours, just to get players used to taking penalties in front of significant number of fans, I guess. Something that both of the coaches agreed to. I did see it for a couple of the games in the United States that Arsenal were involved in.
I took a penalty once in a pre-season game.
Yeah.
Makita tournament.
Oh yeah. You score it.
Just keeper dived over it for me. But it is nerve-wracking. Even in a pre-season game, it's nerve-wracking.
Goes some way to preparing players. And that Porto penalty shootout, of course, we were here for that one. And terrific night, David Raya. Some brilliant stops. Golden Glove winner in the Premier League last year. Hoping for another successful season. Didn't play all of Arsenal's games, obviously. Ben White doesn't know where it's bouncing. It's an awkward clearance, but he's helped out by his teammates. LYON throw.
I think as well, Dan, I know you say it's about giving the players experience of taking penalties in front of a crowd.
Well, I'm guessing that's right.
But my thought process with penalties is it's all about the goalkeepers. You know, it's not about the ones who put the penalties in, it's about the goalkeepers making saves. They make the difference in penalty shootouts. They win penalty shootouts for you. Remember David Seaman against Sampdoria with, you know, when Lombardo hadn't missed a penalty for like 200 years. And what does Seaman do? He pulls an unbelievable save out, and they are the heroes, the goalies.
I like the way you shift the pressure away from the outfield players there, Ben. Cleared only as far as Nikati, who will knock it out of play. Arsenal have got a throw. We've got 14 minutes remaining. Further changes, a lot of them are coming, so bear with us. Some of the youngsters we're going to see. A number of them have played a lot over the course of the summer.
Arsenal substitution, number 29, Kai Havertz.
Havertz the first to come off. Saka's also going to come off by the looks of things. No real surprise there. Ethan Nwaneri's coming on. Miles Lewis Skelly, we can see. Nwaneri's on. He is a real prospect, just 17, of course. In his debut at 15. Thomas Partey, another to come off.
To be replaced by number 20, Jorginho.
Jorginho has started a couple of the summer friendlies and will come on.
Number 2, William Saliba.
Saliba, the latest to be replaced.
To be replaced by number 15, Jakob Kivior.
Well, Jakob Kivior we've seen at full-back and indeed centre-half over the course of these summer friendlies. Gabriel, the other goal scorer for Arsenal this afternoon, also to come off. And Miles Lewis Skelly, as we highlighted before, will come on. Played left back midweek. I think he's going to play midfield this time around. And also great to see Reece Nelson come on as Bukayo Saka departs. And finally, it will be Leandro Trossard to come on here as Martinelli departs. Slightly concerned about him getting the odd knock, but he's managed to play some 77 minutes. Did have opportunities to score, didn't take them. Trossard, of course, scored against Leverkusen in midweek and had a standout campaign last term with 12 in the Premier League. Those are your alterations as Arsenal make wholesale changes for the final 12 minutes and the shootout.
Arteta there just puts his hand on his lip. Decisions to make for next week now.
Reece Nelson coming forward. Flying away. Maitland-Niles, former teammate, will clear. Well, it's going to be Kivior and Calafiori as centre-halves, and Miles Lewis Skelly, as we saw in midweek, as left-back, David. More natural position maybe for Calafiori.
Yeah, and for Skelly, you can already see just on the ball, he's better at twisting and turning, receiving that ball in that inside midfield position where Arteta likes his left-backs to be.
Plenty will have watched him play for the juniors teams, and he's mainly been a midfielder.
Close.
He's offside, yeah, tight one.
Yeah, close. Just made his run a little bit early. Well picked out by Trossard. I think it really is a case of just a couple of positions are up for grabs. impressed with Ranieri against Leverkusen when he come on, though. What a burst of pace he's got, very direct play. I think he started off the 4th goal, got on the ball before giving it to Saka.
Matic will push it forwards. Nars likewise, arms go up, flag does follow. Going to set to lift the Emirates Cup will be an 8th success if Lyon did manage a remarkable comeback here. They will claim a 2nd win, but for the first time in Emirates Cup history, Arsenal would win for a 3rd consecutive renewal. Hasn't been every single year. First played in 07, of course. Just gone. Champions League draw not too far away as well, of course. The qualifiers being done. We'll get news of playoffs as we watch PSA's whose team will be in the group stages of the Europa League. Extended tournaments, of course, with the group stages. 8 matches. Finish in the top 8, you're through to the last 16. If you finish in the next 8, you've got a playoff round. Does mean that potentially you might have to play 10 games in the Champions League before the last 16. Wasn't so long ago, you just had to play 6. It's a huge difference. It will test the deepest squads.
Really good composure shown by Calafiori there. Ball over the top, flick on, he stayed with his runner. Really well positioned, and that's where you can really see he's a centre-half. The way he covered Kivior, read the danger.
Ranieri. Just a little loose, wasn't it? But Arsenal couldn't take advantage with Trossard. Just back up on his feet now. All day through the legs of Miles Lewis Skelly. Ranieri. Ødegaard. Arsenal on that right-hand side. Ødegaard once more. And White to join in. And again. Ødegaard for White to turn. Is there a 3rd goal somewhere along the line here? For the Gunners, Miles Lewis Skelly was calling for it. Jesus. Jorginho. Arsenal pulling the strings. Reece Nelson makes the move. Corner.
Well, he made something out of that in the end. Reece Nelson pushed a little bit too close to the byline. Pass from Ødegaard. Also having a final little fling. The Lyon box. Just wonder who's going to take the corner for this one. As both the corner takers have gone off. It's going to be Ødegaard. One of only 2 players, I think, that stayed on the pitch for Arsenal, himself and Ben White.
Ranieri's gone short, if required. Orthodox swung in towards Calafiori, cleared away, nodded back by Miles Lewis. Skelly bounces through for Lucas Perry.
I knew that was going to happen.
Jorginho came and he didn't get there, and a big opportunity to pull one back here. David Reyes stands up and pushes it over. It's a really good save as Nuoma raced free and took advantage of the slip, but could not find the net.
You could see when Perry got the ball, he's looked up and he's seen his centre forward with half a chance, all the space on the right-hand side. He shouldn't have dived in, Jorginho. But as you said, Reyes stands up really well. Good, strong hand at the end.
Santeliso coming off. Oriol Mangala to come on, signed from Forest after a loan spell last season. Lyon have a corner, looking to grab a consolation. Matic was close to that. There was a player in front of him as well. And neither could really get significant contact to keep it down. A little loose at the back, giving that opportunity for Lyon.
Another loose pass from Jorginho in the midfield. He is one of those players I found that he needs to do his first couple of things in the game really well, because it sets him up for the game. He gets confidence from that. And on a couple of occasions you've watched him come on and make a little mistake, and it takes him a few good passes after that to get his confidence back. He was important to Arsenal last season. Certainly came in some games and, you know, really shored up the shop, didn't he? Makes it a lot more competitive in the midfield against the opposition. Still got a big part to play in the squad this season.
Absolutely.
Massive part.
4 minutes remaining. The game has drifted a little bit in this second half. We've seen flashes of good play from Arsenal, 1 or 2 breaks from Lyon. Janata wins the goal kick. Well, the attention will turn to the Premier League. Traditional 3 o'clock Saturday start for Arsenal. Unusual. Wolves in town, who've had some decent pre-season results themselves. It's been an interesting summer for them as well. Pedro Neto moving to Chelsea will be a big miss. Their best player, but one who didn't play that many games because of injury, so you can spin that different ways in terms of how important he was to them last term. Gary O'Neill in charge, and he'll have them ready. Remember, he only just took charge ahead of, it was his first game against Manchester United last season, as Jesus goes in, and Lucas Perry makes the save.
Cheeky little run by Jesus. Takes advantage of a little bit of a lapse in concentration from the defenders. Lyon, that's a nice little pass from Ødegaard.
As well. Trossard, the perpetrator. Lyon have got a throw. Free kick, rather. Janata, oh my word. Oh, he's kept in play. Good running. The pass was awful. Arsenal win it back. Is there a third here somewhere? And there he's still going. It's a really good, determined run, but he's had to push himself wide here. Still going. Brilliant. Janata redeems himself with the interception come clearance.
He's certainly going to endear himself to the crowd with moves like this. It looks like he's going nowhere. Look at the lovely turn, awareness, pace, keeps the ball in play. Great prospect he is.
Yeah, he really is. England junior international, played in the Euros in the summer, in the World Cup and under-17 level as well. Just that one Premier League appearance last season against West Ham as a sub after making his debut the previous campaign. Youngest ever player to play in the Premier League. Miles Lewis-Skelly is not far behind him, if at all, when it comes to being a real prospect for Arsenal. Interesting that he's the one that's been asked to play that left-back role in a couple of appearances this summer. Rainieri very much a midfielder. maybe the last chance to grab a third. Ranieri to go for goal. Just thought it took a slight deflection, but the keeper, if it did, was not fooled, and it was a comfortable save in the end. Marlou Skelly does brilliantly to intercept. There still could be a third here for Arsenal. This is Ødegaard.
The ball finisher indicating a minimum of 2 minutes added time.
2 minutes of added on time. Sensible, given it is an Emirates Cup, it's the friendly, and we'll need to add on. Potentially we are going to start getting again, sort of got used to the European Championships and the fact that we only got 4 or 5. We'll be back to 9 and 10 when the Premier League starts. Well, there are 1 or 2 new rules, and VAR is going to be helped along a little bit. A little help with the offsides, and the fact that they're semi-automated will hopefully speed things up, so that will stop the frustrations of fans and players alike when we have these big breaks to find out if players are just a toenail the wrong side of the rear guard. Hopefully that will be cut out and speeded up. We'll see. Best laid plans and all that.
It's certainly had its problems over the last few seasons, VAR, but I think they're getting there, Dan. I think it's something that definitely needs tweaking, but it really is. It's the time that it takes needs to be sorted out, because the frustration, players can't really celebrate a goal. You know, it can change the impetus of the game. You know, if a team's on the front foot, get a big knockback from a VAR, the other team can get something from it, which you shouldn't be gaining an advantage from someone else's. You know, from just a wrong call, if you like. The opposition shouldn't get an advantage from it, but it's getting there. Personally, I'd like to see it just more responsibility of the referee. The referee to be able to go over to the screen, make his own decisions, not have a team advising him on what they think. He needs to look at it at the screen. He's got a second opportunity to see it and make a decision straight away, and not be influenced by what 3 people in St George's Park or wherever, you know, what they think. But then that would be far too sensible, wouldn't it?
That is full time, and Arsenal have won the Emirates Cup here for a 3rd straight season. Mikel Arteta and PSA's embrace. Plenty of respect between the two.